Now you got sound. I've been talking to nobody. Now you've got sound. Can you all hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? You guys can hear me, but can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Look at those ducks behind me. Yeah, you can hear me. Slight technical challenge, but we love a challenge. We love an obstacle. That's what this week has all been about. Happy My365ers. Happy beautiful day. Thank you for joining me. It's great to have you here. We are going to be having a new look, My365, coming your way soon. This is day 5. Give yourself a massive pat on your back right now. Just pat yourself on the back and say to yourself this: I am amazing. If you're on a train or somewhere on a bus, just do it. You know, no one needs to look. Just go. Just pretend you got a scratch. Just go. But really, just give yourself a pat on the back because you've shown up. Who's been here all day? Not all day. Who's been here every session this week? Who's watched all 5? Who realizes? Who is waking up to the realization that obstacles are the way to you growing, the way for you achieving anything is for you to overcome the obstacles in your life, for you to be able to deal with your kryptonite. Now, write down the word kryptonite. I know it's, well, you probably struggle to spell it. I certainly do. But what is your weakness? What is your challenge in life? Because let's do a summary of the week. Who's had a great week? Who's learned a lot this week? Because what we're looking for, I'm looking for all of you to show up. Either ideally make a film and say, not a feature-length film. Oh, by the way, making a film, can you imagine? You've got a massive budget, you've got the best actors in the world, you've got an amazing crew, and you're going to make a film. And you go out into the street and we go, okay, everyone, ready? Take one, go. And you take one and you just make the whole film. It's all done, 2 hours, it's done. It's edited the next day and one day, and the next day it's there. It's in Hollywood and everyone's watching it, and you did it in 3 days. No, something's going to happen. They're called retakes or mistakes. Mistakes. That's what obstacles are. They're mistakes. They are things that kind of catch you sometimes, and it's something you've got to learn from. Mistake, and then have another go, and then have another go, and then have another go, and have another go. One of the reasons I personally love the game of golf is it's got nothing to do with anything really, but when you play golf, there's so many obstacles on the golf course. There are trees, there's sand, there's different conditions, you know, rain, wind, whatever. But the biggest obstacle is the obstacle here. And we all have that, right? The obstacles in our head. That's what My365 is all about. It's about you guys waking up and realizing you control what you think, you control what you feel, but it's about taking ownership. Please write this down. Mistakes. Write down the word kryptonite and write down extreme ownership. Write that down. Extreme ownership. And we'll look at that in a minute. So let's do a review of the week. Look, I love doing my reviews. Absolutely love them, which I can show you there. Look, that's my review of the week on obstacles with my favorite pens, which are big pens because I love color. Imagine a world without color. So let's review, and then I'm excited to hear from you. I want to hear from you. I want to learn from you. Get out of your comfort zone. Either get yourself up in front of the camera and just answer these 3 questions. It's funny, just 3. No more, no less. 3 questions. What have you learned this week? All right. What have you learned? What have you achieved? And what are you going to do with what you've learned? What's next? What have you learned? What have you achieved? And what are you going to do with it? That makes sense? So either get up in front of the camera and explain what that is, or write it down. Whatever it is, get it out. If you don't want to put it out on here for whatever reason, you know, privacy reasons, at least write it down and tell a few people, because it's the only way to learn. The only way to learn is to review, write it down, and then tell someone, even teach it to someone without giving someone advice. Just say, look, can I share something with you that I've learned this week? And maybe say it to a few different people. Who knows, you might end up coaching people in how to overcome the obstacles they face in their life. So who's ready for the review, the big review, and then we'll end up with a 1-minute review. Who's ready? Who's pumped up? Show me some hearts, show me some love. Look at the numbers. Can you see the numbers have just come down a little bit? Because people's enthusiasm stays high, and then for some reason it just dips. But it doesn't matter. You're here. And if you're watching this on the replay, hello. Welcome. You're here. Your life matters. Let's look at the week. Let's review this whole thing on obstacles. So what are obstacles? Well, for me, the obstacle is the advantage. What does that mean? In life, who are you today? Let's just think about it. Who are you today? You are the product of the obstacles you've faced. Well done, you. You're here. Whether you've been in a dysfunctional relationship or whether you've been sacked or you went for a job interview and you didn't get it, you're still here. Or something happened to you or someone else, something happened, but you're still here. You are who you are because you went through the obstacles. And in most cases, most people are thankful that they went through it because they are a better person for having done it. Now, I'm going to end this piece about that in a minute. I'm going to come back to it because it's one of two of the most important bits of information about obstacles. But let's carry on. Let's carry on. I love this. That will not kill me will make me stronger. I love that quote. That will not kill me, that will make me stronger. And for so many people who have gone through the obstacles of facing something life-threatening, it didn't kill them. They're still here. And in many cases, they are stronger. Life is richer because of what you went through. Can everyone stand up? Everyone stand up. Stand up. Please, everyone stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Is everyone standing up? If you're standing up, stand up a bit taller. Give us a lift with cooking. What I'm saying here now is, are you willing to stand up and show the world what you're made of? Yes or no? Are you willing to stand up and show the world what you're made of? Yes or no? Yes, sir. Because it's what you go through that really shows who you are. And I'm asking you guys to stand up a little bit more and to be a better version of yourself. So we also looked at the equation for overcoming obstacles. What is it? A unity of purpose, right? Knowing that there's something you're working towards, being slimmer, fitter, healthier, financially free, writing a book, whatever it is, unity of purpose. This is what I'm doing. This is important to me. Just try and stop me. I'm coming through. That's the first thing. Then the next thing we all know is the deafness in the equation. The deafness, so he's not quacking. It's the quacking in your head. The deafness to doubt. The deafness to it. That you can hear it, but you don't let your life be ruled by what you say to yourself in your head. Does that make sense? That you realize I am more than what I think. There is more to me, the deafness to doubt. And the last part of that powerful equation is your desire to stick at things, your desire to stick at things even when they get tough. Then we also looked at this, hugely important, post-traumatic stress versus post-traumatic growth. You have two people go through a very similar experience. They come through at the end having survived, and one is massively affected by what happened in a stressful way, and the other one is affected by in a way that they grow from it. And this ultimately is a choice, and it is all to do, write this word down. We didn't talk about this too much. We'll do a masterclass on this one day because it's so powerful, and that's about your perception. I didn't talk about this. We call it the ABC, and I've written this down. So this was just some work that was done on some students. The ABC is, the A is the actual adversity, the obstacles. The B is the belief, your belief. And then the C is the cause, the feelings that come. Now, what is really interesting is when you look at adversity or the obstacles, it's not those that cause the feelings, the growth, the stress. It's the stress. It's your belief about them. Does that make sense? Your belief about the obstacle is everything. If you believe this is going to be the most ridiculous and hard thing in your life, then that obstacle will produce horrible feelings. If you believe, I can do this, I can overcome this. If you believe that your potential is on the other side of the obstacle, if you believe that everything happens for a reason and this obstacle is coming to your life to teach you something, your belief shapes everything. Who would like to do another week on belief? We will do that. We'll do that. I'm going to keep showing up for you guys as you guys get better and stronger and faster and all of these things, because what? Sorry? What did you say? The best is yet to come. What else did we look at inside? Else did we look at? We looked at amor fati, which is the love of fate, the love of life. The love of fate is the love of life. To love what life brings at you, even though sometimes you didn't necessarily ask for it and it's challenging, the best is yet to come. And I love this whole thing. You know, when we watch, imagine going to watch George and the Dragon, and the dragon's just a little lizard, you know, and George just overcomes. The fact that George becomes who he is because he tames the tiger. It's the big obstacle, the big dinosaur. Imagine, what's it called? Jurassic Park with little small animals. It's because they're huge and they overcome them that when they get to the other side, life is sweeter. This is really weird. I'll tell you a very strange, who wants a quick strange story? You get a bit extra on a Friday, why not? That my coach, who traveled the world living with indigenous people many years ago, all over the world, they were just allowed to watch and observe. He said that when people had a fear of something, you know, snakes or spiders or something, they would give them some form of an hallucinogenic, and then the person would convince them that they were that creature. So they'd become the snake, become the spider, and see through the eyes of the thing that they were frightened of. And in many cases afterwards, they would then create that strength. They'd have the strength. And how this relates to you is that when you overcome a challenge, that challenge can make you stronger because you've eaten it. You've eaten the tiger, you've eaten the dinosaur, and now you have that strength. But it's the same obstacle of anything in life that you can overcome. But it's all about your perception. Your perception. And then we looked at, look, and this is so important. We looked at chapters. Who's on a hero's journey? Who now believes, my 365ers, we're on a hero's journey. This is the book of our life. Every day we're writing the book of our life every day, right? We're writing it and we're doing the best that we can. And when a difficult time comes along, it's just a difficult chapter. This is a difficult chapter in my life. But if you read a biography of someone, you'll realize, well, they had tough chapters in their life. And that's all that this is for you. But if you realize there's a bigger picture here, then you'll realize, well, maybe I just need to go through this. Maybe I need to learn it. And remember, in a book, those are the chapters that are often the most interesting to you. Wow, look what he did. Look what he overcame. So what else do we look at? People don't want to face this. Oh, yeah, so let's kind of bring this all to an end. Is everyone with me? Is everyone with me on this? Is everyone kind of here and alive? Concentrate. Multitasking doesn't work. Stop all the comments. Because it's time for something really big. And I can see that the image on here isn't too great, but it doesn't matter because the most important thing is that you guys can hear what I'm saying. Okay, just stop the comments. Stop the comments for a minute. I'm not gonna say anything else until you guys stop. So, having coached people for a long time and been extremely interested in people, I'm going to tell you something that I want you to listen very, very carefully because this is massively profound. When I read Think and Grow Rich, the thing that really stuck out to me more than anything else is when Napoleon Hill interviewed 500 of the most successful people in the world in the early part of last century. And one of his biggest observations was only about 2% of people knew where they were going. So they had a very clear outcome. You know that you don't do that. You know, if you're being totally honest, you don't have a compelling future that you are so determined to move towards. Let's be honest. You just don't. And if you do, it could be more clearer to you. You could be more determined to achieve it. I'm talking to you. You are who you are because you've just tried to exist and tried to move through the world as best as you can. You were told not to have dreams and ambitions. They were all kicked out of you from a very early age. You know, school, parents, situations that happened to you, not to think big. But just because that happened to you, that doesn't have to be your future, right? That really, it doesn't. You've got to the point in your life, you've overcome all of these obstacles, but you've been scarred by them in many cases. But moving forwards, if you become much more clearer as to what in your life is important to you, what is wildly important, and feel compelled to move towards that, no matter what, then guess what? Guess what? You start to live your life by design, not by chance. And I dare you to start thinking about the life that you want to lead and what is important, what is wildly important to you. Can you tell what's wildly important to me? You're wildly important to me. Why? Because I believe in you. And I know that you have what it takes to do great things. I know the greatness in you. And you're a part of my dream, which is to impact the lives of 100 million people. It was a million. But then I thought, sod it, why a million? Why not 100 million? That's my goal, to positively impact your life. And who knows, you might go and impact someone else's life and then someone else's life. What about you? It doesn't have to be as grandiose as that, but just face the truth. Now, I wasn't going to say this last piece, and thank you, because you're all listening, because you're not making comments, which is good. I've got your attention, right? But I'll tell you something else, and I wasn't going to say this, but I feel that I should, because if I didn't say it, I would be thinking about saying it. And I don't know if I'm actually talking to you in particular. It might be somebody else. But it's called excuse-itis. Excuse-itis. Which many, many, many people have. So you're excusing yourself all the time because you're scared just to realize just how great you really are. For years working with athletes and sporting people, you'd hear so many of them make excuses. The excuses. And in many cases, I'd say to them, look, let's not talk about what you should be doing. Let's talk about what you need to stop doing. And one case is stop making excuses. Get out of your own way. Are you scared to find out just how great you are and how much healthier and how much happier you can be? I don't know, because I don't know you, but I know lots of people. As we come to the end of this week, and it's been an amazing week, I'm still going to be here. I'm going to be here on Monday morning. I'm going to be here all the time. Why? Because I'm going to show up for you. I'm going to show up for you and you and you and you, all of you, because I know that someone's life is going to change massively. We already have changed so many people's lives on My365. What we've achieved in the last year, 2 years, surpasses anything I've ever done in the whole time I've been working with people. Has this not been a profound week? Who's excited right now? And by the way, if you feel that I've just attacked you by saying what I've just said, put a big smile on your face and go, I'm excited. You know, is it that every time you make an excuse, you're excusing yourself from being the very best that you can be? I don't know. But all I know is the best is yet to come. See, you know, Eddie, and my friend in Sweden, you're an amazing human being. And if you think about how we met, you know, and what that has done, the fact that you're still here because you believe in me, I believe in you. I believe in all of you. What does that mean to believe in someone? I don't know what it means to you, but to me, it means I know that you're destined for greatness. It's just getting out of your own way, deafness to doubt, unity of purpose, and just to keep going. Surround yourself with great people and put a big smile on your face. You know, go and tell the people today who you love that you love them. Do what makes you happy, but realize that your greatest gifts and talents need to be given to the world. And it might just be a smile. Guys, goodbye on Instagram. I love you, Instagrammers. Follow me on Instagram. Let's just do a very, very quick summary. Our elite members, get ready, Monday morning, 6:30. Next week, on the main broadcast, we're going to be looking at questions. Questions are the most fundamental thing in life. We all ask questions all the time. It's just most of us ask really poor questions. If you haven't shared this yet, look, there's all these people that are still here right from the beginning. I love you guys. If you haven't shared this, just share it. People need to listen to this. You know, I know life isn't always easy. I know life isn't always fair. But what is fair is the fact that we still have a choice. Here we go from my summary. This is it. This is day 5. It's been an unbelievable week. For me, this has been one of the best weeks I've ever had on My365 because I see the growth in people. For me, life is an obstacle. You were born into this obstacle. You were born, you weren't ready for this world. You formed dependencies immediately. Your parents had to take care of you. You couldn't fend for yourself. But who you are today is a result of the obstacles that you've been through. And my biggest point for this week is quite simple. Life isn't always the way it should be, or it is in fairy tales. But the fact is, the best is yet to come. I believe for you. I really believe the best is yet to come. But what stops us doing that is most of us just don't dream. We don't have big goals, big dreams, and big ambitions. So we are who we are because of the obstacles we've overcome. But how about creating a future that compels us to move forwards, and we need to eat the obstacles that are coming like energy bars? The time has come for us to rise up, for us to be the very, very best that we can be. Thank you for a great week. We'll see you next week. Lots of love. Guys, you guys are amazing. I don't want to say goodbye. Looking forward to seeing your observations and your quotes. I know I'm getting better, and I know you are too. We'll see you soon. Lots of love. Much love. Love, 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 love. All the best. Bye-bye. I'm still here.